Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is week 17. Congrats, you've made it this far, or you're just here to see our pretty faces. Either way, we really appreciate you showing up for this week. I know we're a day early, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
It's the holidays, baby. The holidays. It's the way it is.
So I'm really guessing that this is going to be a slow night, but we'll see how it
Well,
ends up rolling.
we'll start. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Delete as applicable, or don't. Uh, Jason's got the background up. He's all festive. Look at how festive he is.
I try. I like to switch it up.
I had the day off today, so I'm not coming off a 12-hour workday, developing a migraine before we're even sitting down. So that's always a bonus. Got that going for me, which is nice. It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, it's always weird when you don't have anything to do that you're able to just relax and you feel better, you feel more prepared, you have all this time, and you're like, I don't know what to do with
It's almost
myself.
like we should always have Tuesdays off, right? Your congressman.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, I wish. I mean, I'm surprised anybody worked this week. I feel like everybody should have the entire week off. You have a fantasy football championship that you're prepping for.
What are you, European? That might work for them, but not for us.
Tis holiday.
Yeah, it was quite the wrap up to last week. So a couple highlights. If you've been riding DK Metcalf, you will need to find other options. His suspension was upheld. And there's some real weirdness going on with that, given his side of the story being that he's already reported that guy to the league in the past for antagonizing him. But much like the other NFL rules, you can't hit a guy. Doesn't matter if you actually hit him closed fist or not. You can't hit a guy. And also, if we go back to when I was a lad, you can't go in the stands and beat the crap out of people. They've adjudicated this. That was all adjudicated out back in the day. Jason knows what I'm talking about. The malice at the palace. You can't go into the stands and beat up people anymore.
It's frowned upon.
It wasn't okay then, and it's not okay now. And I don't care what they say to you. Unfortunately, even if they deserved it, you're not allowed. And even if there's a history, and for the second time this year, this has come up, Jason. So who's adjudicating these things on behalf of the NFLPA this year? Have you noticed who's doing it?
Yeah, it's Jordy Nelson.
It's Jordy Nelson. It's literally Jordy Nelson. And I would think Jordy Nelson would be more player friendly. He is not. He is not.
He does not care.
That is two that have been against players this year that I've seen him adjudicate where he sides with the league. So that is how that works these days. Because I saw it and I had to look it up because it's happened twice now. And I'm like, is that? It can't be another Jordy Nelson, right? Like, what are the odds?
It's the one Jordy Nelson. That's all you get.
Two guys named Jordy Nelson. It's not. It's the same guy. So that's not happening anymore. So you'll have to find other arrangements for that. That's a shame.
Yeah, he also held up Perryman's 2 game. So that's also frustrating.
And shout out to Steve for jinxing me in our home league and causing me to lose last night. I blame him. He even said something about it after he had done it and was like, all right, so he knows that he's jinxing me. Good. And then it happened. So that's good. So that's fun. But yeah, what was the other one, Jason? There's another one that was kind of weird that has resulted in someone not playing. Oh, it's not so much weirdness. It's more, if you've been riding Kinshawn Judkins, yeah, you're going to need another one. Which is a shame because he was on his way to a really nice game for you and then exits the game with 10 in PPR. Dislocated his ankle and broke his fibula. Not that there's ever a good time to do that, and we wish him a speedy recovery, but it's a 5-month injury. He should be back in time for OTAs. But you will not have him for your fantasy championships.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive that he did it now as compared to, I mean,
there's
in the
never
middle of
a good
summer.
time. Yeah, never a good time to do it. But if you were going to do it now, because that means that more than likely he'll be back for OTAs. He shouldn't miss training camp. He should be fine.
Well, and on that same note, Deshaun Watson, they're going to keep him off, which I know shocks everybody, but he's not playing this year.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens next year with that. That's a next year conversation. So you've got those fun little things to contend with. Drake London came back just in time. He didn't do what I thought he would do, which is come back and eliminate specifically me. He came back and eliminated everybody. So that was fun. It's a equal opportunity complete turd from that one for you. So that's a shame. We won't hear about that next season at all, by the way, in the preseason or in the run up to fantasy, I should say, not so much the preseason, about people saying, "Should I draft Drake London? He screwed me last year." Like, we'll see what that does to his ADP. Were there any other big injuries, Jason, that you wanted to touch on? Those were the big ones that I had. The Drake London thing is more just me being bitter.
Well, I'm curious about Amon-Ra St. Brown's another one who is dealing with a knee. They had him as a limited participant. We'll see how that ends
He's
up
playing,
working
bro.
out.
I think he's playing because his coach is Dan Campbell, and him and Dan Campbell are both crazy with the injury report stuff. And if he is not in the hospital, I think he's probably playing. Whether or not he can get you the whole game, I don't know. But like, I find it very hard to believe that with them clinging on desperately to try and make the playoffs, that they're going to sit anybody who could help them.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy. So you're potentially going to not have that.
If you had that at all.
Well, I saw that Steve lost because he decided to roll with him. So
that's a very specific.
I know.
Specific thing that doesn't apply to normal people. That applies to a very specific 2 QB league that we all play together that has nothing to do with normal people fantasy.
I mean, people have been using him though. He's been at least any kind of super flex. You've kind of more than likely been rolling him out.
Well, Jason, you're going to get an opportunity to get off the hook in that league if you don't want to play it anymore. So that's coming your way this offseason. So if you want to get out, you'll get one shot to leave guilt-free when we extend that opportunity to a couple different people if they want to go. And I was like, we should extend it to Jason because Jason doesn't want to play in that league anymore. And
it's not my forte.
I
feel like I've set up the team pretty well, but it's just I don't.
Well, the whole league's going to get bounced, I think, is how we're going to do it because we're not going to make anybody inherit other people's decisions, so that would be unfair. But there's going to be a number of people that are going to be given ex machina on that league to leave if they want to. But yeah, no Addison, or it's more, the McCarthy thing is more relevant to me to the extent that it matters around. We saw what happened the last time. You think it's bad with McCarthy, and I'm telling you, there's a whole other level of bad that it could be. So if it's not McCarthy next week, I would tell you that all your Vikings are off the table, especially given that both the running backs are already hurt.
Yeah.
So you're just not going to have any Vikings for your championship.
Well,
you're going to have no Chiefs, and you're going to have no Vikings, more than likely. So that will be interesting, because we saw where the Chiefs are at, right? They're done.
Merry Christmas.
They're done. They don't care. They don't care. Like, it cannot be stressed anymore how no Chiefs are usable. No Vikings are usable for me. So you're going to have some of these weird things as we try to cobble together. And if you're playing into week 18, lobby to get that rule changed, because this is a big example as to why, because there's so much death for week 18 already on tap.
Yeah.
What's up, Polo? Once more into the breach.
He brought it up.
Yep.
Ty Chandler was activated from IR today. So
no, I would need to be so incredibly desperate that I would need to be probably going to lose anyway.
You don't have Quinshon Judkins now. What are you doing? No, Dylan Sampson.
We'll see if he plays.
Yeah, I know that.
We'll see if he plays.
Rasheen,
big part of it.
Ali.
If he's literally the only guy,
or
but
Sanders. Is it Sanders? What? God, I always mess those two up.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Is my take on that. I don't think it's Sanders, by the way, and I don't think it matters. It's Rasheem Sanders, and I don't think it actually matters.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that works out, but it's tough.
You're going to have no Commanders, realistically, either.
Maybe. Mariota has a shot. We'll see. I'm trying to be optimistic, but literally the Christmas Day games, you're probably going to be crying.
Oh, yeah. Don't watch. That seemed probably like a really good idea in August.
Yeah.
Like, in August, awesome. Now, sad Christmas. The real thing for me, Jason, will be, if it is sad Christmas for the NFL, do they still out-viewer the NBA? Because if they do, I'm going to laugh really, really, really hard. like really hard because those games do not matter and they're not good. And you're gonna have a Josh Johnson Christmas game more than likely the way this is shaping up, and that's not a happy Christmas. That's sad Christmas. That's not. I can't. I have ways to express it, but not at a PG-13 level. Like I could express to you how sad it is, but it's gonna get way past PG-13. So let's move on.
Wasn't God? What was his name? Didn't they? Wasn't he the Oh, it was something to do because he's an engineer, so he's like astronaut or
You talking about Josh Downs?
no? It's Josh Johnson. Isn't Josh Johnson the engineer?
No, or not Josh Downs. You're talking about the guy who played for the backup quarterback for the Steelers. He played at Tennessee. He was the backup quarterback for the Steelers for a number of years. He's bounced all over this freaking league. He was the backup quarterback for the 49ers for a while. He was the backup quarterback in Minnesota for a
Dobbs.
while. Dobbs. Thank you. It is Dobbs. Dobbs is who
you
you're
had to go
thinking
through
of.
it all. I'm like, I was
I can
thinking it was
literally
Dobbs.
tell
Like, oh,
you
this guy
everything
great.
about that guy other than his name. I know everything about that guy. I've watched him play like 15 different. Like I've watched that guy play for like 15 different teams before including college. Because he's actually like he's a real aeronautical engineer, like degreed and everything. Like he's an actual. But this pays more. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the priorities of who they're paying in the world. But let's move on from that conversation before I get us canceled.
Yeah, you're going to be sad on Christmas more than likely because all these games are
It's
likely
not
backup quarterbacks, except for the good teams who will likely end up having a
time.
backup.
Listen.
We'll have a
It's
backup
fine.
quarterback by the end of the game.
Take a nap. It's fine. Do what you were going to do on Christmas anyway, which is go do whatever you got to do, family related, and then take a nap. It's a tradition unlike any other.
You know. Okay, here we go.
I just need Jim Nance to do that in the proper voice. I can't do it. I can't do it justice.
All right, B-Rad's asking standard scoring.
If
do I play Kittle?
If Kittle plays, he plays for you. Okay. If Kittle plays,
those are really good options though.
You. But if we're not gonna have Kittle, then it's Fannin. It's just Fannin until I tell you otherwise. Unless it's Kittle, I would still play Kittle. Fannin is like the ultimate. If you play in Dynasty and Keeper, you just struck gold in such a huge way with Fannin. If you play in Dynasty or Keeper formats, because I play in a Keeper league where I have Fannin, where I cannot imagine that I will not be keeping Fannin for an 18th round pick next year. With David Njoku is likely not on that team anymore. And I don't even really care who the quarterback is. I'm rooting for Shedeur because of the funniness. The funniness of it. They didn't want him. Nobody wanted him. So he should be the starting quarterback as a 5th round pick for the Browns. Tell me I'm wrong, Jason. You know I'm right. That's the way that should work.
I mean, he's done a good job. I'm very curious to see how he does with like a full time actually training and preparing and understanding the playbook and maybe them getting help somewhere. But we'll see.
I'm playing.
But I agree.
I'm playing Fannin if Kittle doesn't play. If Kittle does play, I don't think you could sit him. He's been too hot.
Yeah, especially with Purdy. I mean,
yeah,
that was one we nailed last week. Was Purdy?
It really was. Having Purdy top 5 was smart, and I think I had him at 4 exactly. And
yeah, and he ended up 1.
Even that was too low. Yeah, but Kittle, like, he's playing the Bears, and this game does still matter for both teams. So if Kittle's playing, gotta play Kittle. Second choice is Fannin though.
Yeah, I agree. And then need one flex. Trust Henderson as he goes. I really don't think he's gonna go.
I don't think he's gonna go. That's your problem. I think Kittle's got a better shot at going. He might be a little gimpy, but I think Kittle is a warrior who might try to gut that out because it's not a high ankle sprain. They'll tape it.
Yeah.
They'll tape it, and he's gonna try. Like that's
watching
him
try after he came back was brutal though. Like that, you could see it
that's
still
like
moving
the
a
day
lot.
it happened. Let's give it a week. Let's see how it feels. But I know what you mean. Watching him try after he did it was not pretty. They just
poor decision.
But your other options.
I mean, he'd probably go Watson if he goes.
It would probably be Watson if he goes. Third choice would be Jameson. The other two, I'm not afraid. I'm afraid.
I know. I'm going to go back to Rodriguez though.
I refuse to ever go back to Rodriguez ever again because it just hasn't worked ever, and If you like getting 10 points and 0 upside, and that's your best case scenario, then play Chris Rodriguez.
I get it. I'm just, again, somehow the Vikings have just surprised me with how well they've played against wide receivers.
I would
The
much,
coverages.
much rather play either of the 2 wide receivers on this list. It's not even really close. I would play Henderson if he got cleared, by the way, over any of them. But
And honestly, you should have Stevenson.
my second, or that's Monday morning quarterback, and my second choice would be Watson. Third choice would be Jameson. But I will say that order would be flipped if I found out Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't playing by some crazy miracle. But those are, but I would easily rather look at the 2 wide receivers.
All right. But Polo brings up a really good point here. You'll like this. One day we'll discuss how the Chiefs have slowly failed since Eric Bieniemy is gone. And
We
yes,
can discuss
yes,
that now if you want. We can discuss that now if you like. I can discuss it very shortly. We can go even back to before Eric Bieniemy left, which is the Chiefs haven't nailed a draft pick in 4 years.
Since Mahomes.
That's it. Like, you got to, if you're going to, when you get to that point where you got to pay everybody, which is where they've been at for years now, these draft picks really matter. And they have not. When was the last time the Chiefs had a quality offensive lineman? It's been 3 years. And this is finally the end of it, where it's like the line was finally so bad that even the Mahomes magic isn't enough. There is a limit on how bad your O-line can be. Go look at Cincinnati as an example of what I'm talking about.
I mean, you could also look at the Chargers right now.
The Chargers right now, the Chargers last year, the Chargers the year before that.
Rude.
I could keep going actually on a lot of this, like on teams, the Panthers for several years. Like it's just I know people like to say, "Oh, O-line play." They can figure out a way around that. Not always.
Doesn't always work out that way.
There's a limit. I don't care who your quarterback is. You can't. So.
Well, now Eric Bieniemy's making the Bears look like a team on offense.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him or Caleb Williams, but something's working.
It's a combination of Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and Bieniemy, or all of that working together is, and the Bears still have money. So that's the enticing thing about the Bears, is that they didn't even spend all their money yet. They still have money left over for next year to blow, and then they'll be out of money. They got to fix the pass rush, and they got to do something about the secondary. But I think those 2 problems are related.
So yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. You either got to fix the secondary or fix the pass rush, and I think it's probably easier to fix the pass rush, weirdly, and then hope your secondary doesn't all get hurt again next year, and then you go with that because they got to do something, because next year the schedule is going to be harder. Anyway, what's the next question?
Well, Daniel Everhart's here to cry with us. His team failed him, and it looks
Mine too. Mine too. I understand. The last of my teams, I had a couple teams that were playing in the semifinals that one predictably and one in a spectacular manner managed to get me eliminated. So
yeah. This was pretty stacked, though. I mean, he had all the right pieces to.
He did, but that's what the playoff. But the playoffs is a lot more random than the regular season. Yeah,
you get one shot, which I also don't like. I really feel like it should be the last 4 weeks.
I used to play a double. I used to play in double elimination playoffs, and it's not.
It's not much better.
It's not that it's much better. It's not as fun.
Well,
it's not as fun.
What do you think about doing it by points based?
Yeah, you could do it by points based, but then you open yourself up to the problem of what happens when you have random teams that score 1 million points but it's not consistent and it's just a fluke.
Well, I mean, you have your top 4, 6, whatever is going to make it to the playoffs, and those are the teams that you look at from, I don't know, week 14 on.
You want my actual opinion on this? I'll tell you what it is. My opinion is this. Every league should play the double scoring thing, which is that every week you play your head-to-head matchup, and then if you're in a 12-team league, the top 6 teams get an additional win, and the bottom 6 teams by points get an additional loss. And that is what determines the playoffs. So at the end of the year, if you were 7-7, you'd be 14-14 in theory, right? Depending. But this is what would hedge against teams that are good getting shafted and teams that aren't good winning their head-to-head but not scoring any points and making the playoffs. This is your hedge against that. And that should prevent you from having to doing the 2-week elimination. The 2-week elimination is more accurate, I find, but it is less fun. It takes the drama out of it and it makes it less entertaining.
You say
I
that,
genuinely
but go ahead.
I'm not just saying it. I have a lot of experience in it. Because for years my longest running league is a league that still runs. It's from 2005 to current. And that league for the first 10 plus 50 almost 15 years ran the double elimination playoffs with the 2-week scoring. And I'm just telling you, and now it doesn't do that anymore and it's not as fun. What's more fun is the random because it works more like real football. So it's 3 weeks, it's any given Sunday, but I think the path to getting there needs to be more curated. And then I think the other thing that is fun is this, which is make your end of year payouts less and make it so that whatever team scores the high point total for any given week, you get $20. So you get $20 per high score that you are. And that also hedges against the playoff thing because you're going to be less mad if you were the high scoring team 3 weeks and and if you're the high scoring team 3 or 4 weeks, and you get $20, you get like $80 and you get bounced in the playoffs. I will tell you, as someone who has experience in all these different formats, it takes some of the sting out of it. Because it's like, well, I still made my money back, which is all I cared about. Because it's an acknowledgement that my team was really good without having to do the 2-week playoff things. Because then the league has to end early, and it screws over the people that are borderline teams that are trying to get in. Because then that just screws them. Because then the league has to end in week 11 so that you can accommodate the playoffs. And I think that's unfair to the bubble teams who just get relegated. And then the teams that are good. So all it does when you have the 2-week thing is it just front loads the whole season. You have to get off to a hot start because otherwise you get screwed because the league ends so much earlier to accommodate the 2-week. But what about those teams that had a bad start and got hurt? And then they have a great second half of the season because they got their players back or they were able to make some move. It's like, I don't like the 2-week. There's other ways to hedge it without having to reward the actual good teams without having to do the 2-week playoff things. There's better ways, in my opinion, to solve that problem.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I take it in mind as I think of Jeopardy. And so when they're doing tournament and champions, they're like, okay, everybody Wednesday, and then they do 2 days against the best teams. And so then you kind of have to take into account both days. You can't just bet it all both days and then you end up with 0 kind of a thing. So
yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's more fair in my opinion to do the high point total thing is $20, and then you do the 2 weeks score of the 2 games effectively per scoring every week. You get your head-to-head matchup and then your actual point total, because that way you're not being unfairly punished. And so that way it's like you'll know who the best teams are through the crucible of that by the time you get to the final 3 weeks of the season. So because I just don't recommend and don't like the 2-week scoring thing because of just the fact that it's not like in Jeopardy Tournament of Champions, they don't just end the season 3 weeks early because they have to, because someone has, amassed such a lead that we have to make sure that in the finals, and then we have to kill all the borderline teams to prevent them from getting in. Like, I don't find that to be particularly fair. Anyway, let's keep going.
all right, Tamara's having some issues at tight end. So looks like she has Fant, Njoku, and Laporta, but could pick up Hawkinson, Helm, Washington, or Gesicki. And of these, I am going to go with Hawkinson because that is the one thing that I did see get a boost up with Brosmer. Max.
We don't even know that it'll be. We don't even know it'll be him. Is the problem? Because it might be what's his name. It might be what's his name, the guy they just signed, Brett Rippon. Is who I was thinking of.
Oh God.
I'm just telling you, these are the choices.
I still think at that point it'd be Hawkinson.
This is a tough one because it's like such a deep dive.
Yeah.
I don't want Helm. I don't want Washington. Where the hell do I even have Gesicki? Did I even rank him?
You probably did. He's probably in your 20s, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's I'll play Hawkinson.
There you go. That's the
I
answer I
hate
was
it.
looking for.
I hate it. I don't want to play Hawkinson except in these very specific circumstances where I will do it. It's either him or Gesicki, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. It's either him or Gesicki. I'll eliminate all the other options for you. It would either be Gesicki or it would be Hawkinson. And you need to think about Gesicki because Hawkinson is questionable and there's a million problems with Hawkinson. So you might be forced into Gesicki. I will say I'll make the case for Gesicki slightly, which is that he does play Arizona.
Yeah.
So if there was ever a week, it's this week for Gesicki.
Well, and also potentially, I'm guessing Higgins is probably back, but if he's not, makes it even more intriguing.
Yeah, but I'll play Hawkinson for right now. But if Hawkinson gets ruled out, okay, like I'd go to Gesicki at that point because you have to have a backup plan because we don't know if Hawkinson's going to play.
Yeah, definitely not an ideal situation. All right.
He did not practice today, so.
Yeah. Polo, half PPR, Goff, Mayfield, or Stroud? I think it's going to be Mayfield, but I'm trying to...
Yeah, I've got Mayfield, as ugly as that is, but that's just because it's Miami. Yeah, Mayfield against Miami.
Well, he's like also one of the few ones that should get some kind of a battle back. I would normally probably go Stroud, but this game I think is going to be ugly.
Yeah, that game could just be over immediately.
So I'm nervous about it either way. I don't know how it's going to end up looking, and it just terrifies me.
A couple different ways that game could go. Anyway.
Yeah, the number of games that are under 40 this week is real nasty.
Yeah. What's the next question?
All right. Angela made it in. Worried about Lamar.
Nice.
PPR, do I drop Parkinson to pick up Schultz or Sampson? Yes.
Which Sampson?
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan Sampson, I imagine?
I would assume so.
Yeah, there's really only
It really depends on what you need, but
yeah,
I'm also fine rolling Schultz.
I would drop Parkinson for either of those two. And to answer your question about which one, it would require me to know what you need.
Yeah. Good. I like the idea of Sampson, but we also aren't 100% sure he's playing.
Sampson would be in for a massive workload day if he was to play. But that is very much a question mark.
Yeah, it's also the Steelers, which isn't super, but his usage would be insane.
Not great, but his usage would be incredible. So it's either one. It depends on which one you need more. I'd say both good choices, but yeah, you can go ahead and cut Parkinson to pick up either one, and just figure out which one you need the most.
Yeah,
might be Schultz just based on the idea that Schultz is actually not hurt.
Yeah,
he's like really high up my list for keeper and dynasty stuff for next year because it just feels like they said they were going to do this and then they did it. And then in the preseason, they said they were going to move on from it. Like they just said all this, and they normally don't flatly tell you what they're going to do. But in the draft process, they said they love Fan and they were going to draft him if he was there for them, and they did it. And then they said in the preseason they really liked what they saw out of Fannin, and they were thinking about moving on from Njoku because it's the last year of his contract. And then later on in the year, they said, hey, someone asked him, it looks like you're getting Fannin more snaps and you're playing Njoku less. Is that
intentional?
Does that mean something for the future? And they're like, yeah. And they didn't even try to argue it. They just yeah. And it's really weird that you're not even trying to lie to me. You're just flatly saying how much you want this guy. And you've been consistently saying it, that you believe he's going to be your tight end of the future. And then you just drafted him and now you're doing it. And now you're actually doing the transition. It's really weird that you're not trying to lie to anyone about this. So the fact that they can't even be bothered to lie, I think he's, let's not overcomplicate it. I think he's going to be like pretty high up as far as tight end goes for the future. Interesting. We've seen what Njoku was able to do with that team. They do love to throw to the tight end.
Yeah, and they continue to target it. And if you have that kind of a talent, I mean, the other issue is they don't really have anybody else to throw to. I mean, Judy's been.
They don't have any wide receivers. Tillman is not reliably anybody's answered anything,
or staying healthy.
Or that's why. Yeah. So he's not. So Tillman's career is hanging by a thread at this point, and Judy's career is not exactly hanging by a thread, but it ain't looking good. And they just don't have much else. So it's like maybe they can draft some people. I don't know. They're gonna have a good draft pick.
Yeah.
I still think there's a non-zero chance to take a quarterback with it though.
Depends on who's there and who declares and what else, and we'll see.
There's gonna be 3 or 4 guys, Jason. There always are. You know how this goes. There's gonna be 3 or 4 guys that always declare, and then the NFL draft process rizzes them up and gets them way, and 1 or 2 of them will be good. That's typically how this works.
Again, we'll see. We'll see who comes out, because a lot of the tape I've seen so far are the people are staying. So it's going to be interesting to.
There's going to be some people that come out though. That guy from Alabama, I think, is going to come out. So at a minimum, that'll be one. The kid from Miami, I think, is coming out too, who played in place of Cam, or not Cam Ward, whatever that guy's name was. It doesn't matter. Keep going.
All right. Angela, we're picking 2 in Superflex, Lamar, Stafford, or Caleb. Don't think you could sit Jackson right now. I'm probably going to go Jackson and Williams.
You're going to play Lamar?
I am.
After he killed you?
It's very much dependent on his health, but I'm not scared of the Packers.
Okay. That's fine. I'm going to play Stafford and Caleb because while I'm not really scared of the Packers, I am afraid of Lamar at this point. If you've made it this far, here's the thing. You know my argument every year is you dance with who brung you. The problem with Lamar in this case is that you made the playoffs and you've made it this far in spite largely of Lamar this season. So I'm going to play Stafford and Caleb because Caleb needs to – that's a game that matters. They're going to be throwing and that game's going to be competitive. And then I'm not sitting Stafford against Atlanta.
My one thing for the reason I'm worried about Stafford is I really think they're just going to be able to run the ball. And with
maybe.
And I think they're prepping.
Maybe, but I really can't see. I can't risk Lamar going into the game, getting hurt again, and then sitting down. He's too hurt, and they're just going to keep putting him out there because they're playoffs. That there's playoff implications for them, and they need it, so they're going to keep putting him out there. But I would actually probably feel better about this if you just told me it was Tyler Huntley at this point, and just say, "Hey, it's Tyler Huntley. Lamar's getting 2 weeks off to rest because that's what he needs." But that's not the position they're in because they're trying to still make the playoffs. So, but I can't trust him for my fantasy championship at this point. Not after how dirty he did me last week, and how he did a lot of people. I have Lamar at 18, and I don't see it. I don't see it coming too much up from that.
That's fair.
Even if he practices in full all week, I don't trust you anymore. See you next season, Lamar.
All right, Chad Dillon, pick 2 RBs, Javonte, Hampton, Swift. It's going to be Hampton and Swift.
Oh, I'm looking at my quarterback rankings. That would help. Yeah. I'm going to play Williams.
What? Oh, Javonte. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to play Javonte Williams and Hampton. We're going to sit Swift.
I don't know. After what I saw happen to the 49ers with Taylor, I just too many opportunities.
They're also splitting, and Hampton's not really going to be splitting in this game too much because Vidal's probably not playing. I think they're going to give Hampton enough workload that it matters. And then Javonte Williams has basically the best matchup you could have playing Washington. I know he's questionable. I'm assuming he plays. Obviously, you know what to do if, for some reason, Javonte Williams gets sat down. And then which wideout to replace Rice? Diggs, Tet, MHJ, or Moore?
Right now, it's looking like more. Really, it's going to be dependent on health because if Adunze and Burden are still out, looked pretty good last week. And the 49ers just got lit up by Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, with Philip Rivers throwing the ball.
Who did you pick?
More.
DJ Moore was your choice? Okay.
I think that'd be the safest. I like the idea of Diggs if Booty remains out because
Diggs would be my third choice on
Douglas,
this list. Diggs would be my third choice on this list just because it's so wildly inconsistent. I don't really want to trust that in my championship if I have other options, which you clearly do. For me, I would say my number one choice is actually Tet. I know it's not the best matchup against Seattle, but this game matters so much. It matters so much that I'm gonna go with Tet here. And then my second choice, if you're afraid of Tet for whatever reason, I will say my second choice is DJ Moore, and I've only got him 3 spots lower than Tet. So I wouldn't really blame you, but I will say for anyone who actually watched that game, and I watched the entirety of it as a Bears fan, the whole thing. And let me tell you, if DJ Moore doesn't catch that touchdown in overtime on the miracle pass, we are not having this conversation. So prepare yourself for the fact that he was on like 7 points the entire game, and Caleb was also having a very bad day up until overtime. Okay, that overtime period really wallpapered over how ugly a lot of that actually was in reality, which is part of why I'm not totally sold on this. So I'll give me Tet as my first choice.
I get it. I completely understand, but again,
I wouldn't get too sold on some of this. He was my second choice. It's not a bad choice. It's just I prefer Tet by a couple spots. I think it's a little safer.
Again, I think the number one would actually end up being Diggs if Douglas and Booty are out, because I do think that increases.
If Douglas and Booty are out, then we'll have this conversation on. No, we'll have that conversation Sunday potentially. You know, like because if both of them are out, then I agree it would be attractive. But all right, keep going.
All right, Cameron was liking the idea of payouts for each week. So
the payouts for the top 20, I was skeptical on, but I've played in that format now for the better part of the last at least 5 years, probably more like 7. And I will say that idea, when I first heard it, I was like, that's stupid. And then having lived in it, I'm like, that idea is actually legitimately awesome. Like, it's legitimately awesome.
Yeah, it rewards you for playing well and constantly fixing your team every week.
Well, it's that, but it's also just you should get something. It's changed my opinion. You should get something for being the high scorer. Because that sucks when you like. Because even if your team is bad, you could be the high scorer one time. You know, who knows? Gives you something to play for.
All right, then we're picking 2: Shuck, Goff, or Burrow. Definitely playing Burrow. And I think I'm going to play
at 3.
Shuck. I think that game's actually going to be competitive.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Burrow and Shuck because Shuck is 60 minutes of garbage time. That whole game is garbage time. So, yeah, I'm just gonna take my. I normally I wouldn't do that. I would play Goff, but that's like a real game that has defenses in it, as opposed to the Shuck game, which is just a track meet. No one's going to play any meaningful defense in that game. No one cares. Both teams are trying to put out tape. No one's gonna give a crap. So yeah. All right, let's keep going.
All right. This is a good question because I think a lot of people are asking it. What do you think about Taysom Hill?
I don't.
So last week, I think it really came down to it being the final Saints game for him at home. So it will be very much dependent on if they have anybody come back or if they want to use Estime more. But his usage in the run game is something you can kind of rely on at this point because clearly Estime isn't that answer.
Good.
Yeah, or good. Well,
good in general.
So, but again, you're looking at probably 5 points from him.
I'm not playing
forward.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
not playing Taysom Hill. I'm telling you right now, I would rather play like Darren Waller or like AJ Barner or like maybe you could talk me into it over Gatson or
Hmm.
Kelsey if I needed a Kelsey replacement and I was freaking desperate. Because you can't take another one from Kelsey.
Yeah.
Like, but you'd be down at that level. You'd be, I'll tell you what, it'd be like Mike Gesicki or Taysom Hill is kind of the conversation we're having here. So, Tamara, to answer your question, this is not something I think about for redraft at all. In Dynasty,
Definitely
if he
not
was
think about it.
available, and you're talking about, I'm going to have to play Darnell Washington. Okay, play Taysom Hill. Okay, I like Taysom Hill about as much as I like the Hawkinson Gesicki debate that we were having. I would consider Hill there. Anything more than that, I don't consider it at all. Because this is the definition of playing with fire. And this is always the issue with Taysom Hill. He'll go out twice a year and put up a 20 or a 40 or some crazy ass number. And then we have to go explain to people that the next week's not a guarantee of that. And then people spend half their fab budget on him and he puts up a 5 and then they get pissed. And I'm like, I've seen this movie like 15 times. I don't care to see it again. But the only scenario, Tamara, for you where I would say maybe I would consider it is if it's in the Mike Gesicki Hawkinson context. So what do you think, Jason? Would you play Hill over Hawkinson or Gesicki?
I just don't think he has the upside, so probably not.
I probably wouldn't either because I think it's too risky. I think it's like the riskiest thing ever. But it's like if you need the pure upside. If I was here's what I'll play Taysom Hill, Tamara. I'm projected to lose by 20. Then I'll play Taysom Hill. Because at that point I need wild card. I don't need the 5 points TJ Hawkinson's going to get me. I don't need the even 10 points that TJ Hawkinson's going to get me, potentially. I don't need the 5 or 10 points that Mike Gesicki's going to get me. I need a Taysom Hill miracle 20 to 40. That's the context in which I will play Taysom Hill. Is I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose bigly. I'm projected to lose by 20 or more. That's when we fire up Taysom Hill. It's Taysom Hill time. Because then I don't care if I get a 5. But that's about as far into the Taysom Hill thing as I will go. I'm actually really happy that he's probably finally done with the Saints. I'm actually really happy that we might finally get to be done having this conversation, Jason. Fingies and toesies crossed, okay? Because I'm over the Taysom Hill conversation. I was over the Taysom Hill conversation 3 years ago, and it's continued to come up every year. And I'm like, can you just retire, bro? Like, not that I don't even like you. It's just I'm tired of talking about it. Like, but don't worry, he'll be on the Broncos next year, and then people will. He's gonna be Sean Payton's Joker. Okay, how'd that work with Evan Ingram, the fantasy juggernaut that pissed everyone off? So, yeah,
Oh, we're going to stick with the tight end theme because Tyler Sperry, Taysom Hill, Schultz, or Tonjes.
This is why I get annoyed because this is not a question. It's Schultz, and please don't get cute.
Yeah, this not the time.
This is why I get aggravated by the Taysom Hill thing. Is because then Taysom Hill gets slushed in to every tight end conversation, and it actually like degrades the other tight end people that you should be playing, which is Schultz. And let's move on.
Yeah, Daniel Eberhardt, pick 2, PPR, Tet, London, Wilson, Reed, or pick up Burden.
It's not going to be Burden.
You're definitely playing Wilson, and it's probably going to be Tet.
It's going to be Tet for sure for me, and then Wilson.
Okay.
Unless, and this depends on your risk tolerance, Daniel, and not take Reed off the list. Take Reed and Burden and throw it away. That's stupid. Like, forgive my vernacular, Daniel, but I've known you for long enough that I'll just talk to you like how I talk to you in real life. That's stupid. Don't get suckered into Reed and don't get suckered into Burden. Just throw that shit in the trash where it belongs, okay, honey? Like, let's look at the 3 good things on your team, which is Tet, Wilson, and London. London by body of work. Wilson has been so hot that I know the 13 feels bad, but it's still 13 points, okay, buddy? Like, and the Tet thing, he put up like damn near 20 last week in PPR. The only wild card is London. London is the wild card here because it's second game back. He looked a lot less hurt than what I thought he was. The problem is that Kirk Cousins sucks. He's old and he's past it. He can't throw hard anymore. He looks like Phillip Rivers.
Rude.
Like he can locate. You haven't
I
seen
know. I
Rude.
know.
You haven't seen what Rude looks like yet. He looks like your grandfather, Phillip Rivers, and even that's not Rude. I could get to Ruder. But like Rivers, at least Rivers can like locate the ball where he wants it. He still has that ability. He'll place it where he intends to place it. It just happens in slow motion at this point. Whereas Kirk Cousins, the ball literally looks like it's going like it does on Saturday as opposed to Sunday, and he's having problems locating it. So, like, Kirk Cousins is done. He's washed. He's past it. We will enjoy watching Kirk Cousins on a studio show on Sunday soon because that's over. And London is kind of like Michael Penix isn't great, but like he can throw hard and he can locate where he wants the ball and he knows where to put it for London. The question is, Jason, what do you do with London? Are you just sitting it based on the 6 that torpedoed a lot of people and just going to move on from it in this instance? I think that might be smart. Normally, I would say we probably play London, but it's because of the weirdness with the quarterback. If it was Michael Penix, I'd be like, we're playing London, baby. Fire that bad boy up.
Well, and the fact that Pitts, I mean, he's really just continued to go with Pitts anyway, and so
yeah, I don't really care about Pitts so much,
but
it's the Cousins thing. It's the Cousins deal. So I technically have London rated pretty high, but given these other options, I would probably just play Wilson because I feel like I'm going to get a 15 out of Wilson, and that's about right. And then Tet, I'm looking at
it might
more
actually
like a
be more now because the Bengals don't have a defense, and this is going to be fun.
That's true, and I'm looking at more like a 20 from Tet because it will be required for them to win. So like that's where London has me shook. Reed isn't good, and the Burden thing is the definition of getting cute and not worthy of your time. I would just play Wilson and Tet.
All right, yeah, I agree. It's Wilson and Tet. Okay, Tyler Sperry's back again. Devontae Smith, Dobbs, Reed, Downs, Pierce, or Luther Burden if Burden plays.
It's Devontae Smith. You knew what you signed the contract for when you did it at the beginning of the year. It's in the fine print. Yeah. It is in the damn fine print.
And this is actually a game that they're going to have to throw again. So we saw all 3 of the pass catchers this past week put up solid numbers. I don't think that's going to change this week.
No one can claim they don't know what rostering Devonta Smith is like at this point. Like you knew.
Try to tell you.
Even if you've never done it before, you know what people say. And it was a nice call
as quick as you can for something that's more consistent.
And it was a decent call on Dobbs, by the way, Jason. That was actually a decent call.
Thanks.
He had 11. It was pretty good. 12, almost 12. That was pretty good.
Downs. Was it
Downs? Sorry, not Dobbs. Downs is what I was saying. I meant Downs, not Dobbs. No one called Dobbs. That's a fluke. That's a total fluke. I'm sorry. They're both on the screen at the same time. They both start with D. I meant Downs. You called Downs last week, and I was like, that's a decent little call because of Phillip Rivers. And it was a decent little call. He had 12.
He made it.
Just shy of 12. It was just shy of 12. But it was pretty good. It was better than what you've come to expect, which is not saying much. Next question.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good on our start sits last week.
It's not Downs' fault. That has nothing to do with Downs. That's
all about who's throwing the ball. All right.
Downs is still good. Their team is
Arave Aji. So we're picking 5. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Etienne, Warren, Harvey, Hampton, London, Evans, Wilson, Devontae, Terry. Okay, so 2 running backs. Of Etienne, Warren, Harvey, Hampton. Yeah, there you go. I have it currently.
It's going to be Etienne, I think.
There's one of them.
Yeah, it's going to be Etienne
and Harvey, if I had to guess.
It's close.
Between him and Hampton or Warren.
Hang on a second.
I know Warren had a pretty good game, but
there he is. He had more than a pretty good game. He had 30 in PPR.
Well, you know who did better than him? Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Love it.
Kenny Gainwell will get blasted in the chest next week, and that'll end his career. And Jason will never be able to talk about it ever again. That'll make me happy. I won't be happy about Kenny Gainwell getting hurt. I'll be happy about Jason not being able to talk about this anymore. Let's see. So it's God. I have it really close between Harvey and Warren. It's like right there. It's right on the cut line. And it's going to be Harvey only by virtue of the fact that the Chiefs do not care anymore. And they've made it very clear that they do not care.
Well, they have like 5 people that
anymore.
are probably not playing.
Yeah,
Not
they
including
don't
their
care.
quarterbacks, who we don't know.
So it's going to be Etienne and Harvey. And then 2 wide receivers are going to be
Evans and Wilson.
It'll be Evans and Wilson.
Then we get a flex.
The flex will be.
Is that where you're going back to Warren, or are you sitting with
I'm
London?
probably going to play Warren because this matters. There's no undos on this. And if the Falcons screw me, I'd be very upset.
I agree. That's one thing we can concur on. I'm fine rolling that out at this point.
Be very upset about that. And then I would play Goddard. Goddard is fine if Kittle's out. And I don't know what Saints okay means. Defense, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I don't love the Saints defense this week.
Yeah, I prefer like the Steelers.
Yeah, that's one of the picks. Rams were widely
available. The Rams are available at this point. I'd rather play the Bucks, even though if I got to play a bad defense, I'd play the Bucks. The Saints I have at 9, so it's not crazy. They're in starter range, but it's not. There's other options that might be available. Go see if the Steelers are available. They're widely available.
Yeah, I'm fine playing.
Patriots, Steelers are 2 that are available that might be available in your league.
Yeah, if the Steelers aren't there, I'm fine rolling out the Saints at that point because I do think it's a better option. So.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Next.
We know this guy. Devontae Smith or Tyrone Tracy.
Oh, I got to answer it wrong. Hang on. I got to go make sure I answer this.
Not messing with
wrong because he jinxed the living crap out of me. So he gets the exact wrong answer.
I don't think I'm going. I have to go with Smith.
Sky Moore is my answer.
Singletary.
He'll be great. Sky Moore will be great. Jinxing people. I'm actually in all seriousness, I'm gonna play Smith.
Okay.
Against Buffalo because Buffalo's defense has been terrible and they've been getting gashed both on the ground and through the air. And as you pointed out earlier, this game matters. I will say I do have it really close. I only have Tracy 5 spots behind where I have Smith, but I prefer Smith just slightly more. He'll do the opposite of whatever I say.
Yeah, fine. The other reason I'm kind of iffy on Tyrone is the fact that the Raiders seemed to show up last week, and that kind of scared me.
Yeah, so
I was like,
I'd
Raiders
rather
team is stop doing this nonsense. Just lose
I'm
like
gonna
it's
go.
supposed to.
I'm just gonna go with Smith on the against the questionable Bills defense and a game they need to win. Like this game matters, as you pointed out. Like they're gonna be throwing, they're gonna be trying.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun game to watch. And surprisingly, they only have it at 44.5. I think that's too low.
Yeah, that's probably too low. Might take the over on that. Unless it's going to be really, really cold for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That actually, I had the weather up and I forgot.
Is it going to be like freezing? Because it could be freezing in Buffalo or in Philly. I don't even know where that game is.
37 with definite snow showers.
Yeah.
And 14-mile-per-hour winds.
In Buffalo, yeah, it's going to be poop. That could, but but that's not
high scoring.
But that's not definitive because I was gonna say we've seen plenty of games that wind up being high scoring in the snow because the defense can't get traction. So we've seen that too. So anyway,
all right.
Steve.
See you, Steve.
I'm not actually mad at you for jinxing me, by the way. I'm just giving you
kind of mad.
No, you know if I'm Jason. That team was 7-7, and I had no business of even being in the semifinals to begin with, and I scored 170 points and lost. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the fact that I was even there to begin with. I gave up on that team in like week 11 because I hated it so much, and then it started winning finally. Stupid 7-7, 500 team backdoored into the playoffs. I was 4th in points scored.
So you were Steelering it?
Yeah, it's dumb. It was dumb. Anyway, keep going. Moving
All
on.
right. Daniel Eberhardt, would you roll out Allen or pick from the waiver wire? Shuck, Johnson,
Allen,
Cousins, Young,
not.
Ward, Ewers, Sanders,
not.
Rivers, Brosmer.
You don't need to. You don't need to keep reading.
Oh,
You don't need. You
I don't
don't.
know
You
what
don't
load
need.
was.
You don't need to keep reading. I have Allen at 1. Move on.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
going
the
to be hard to get
definition
away
of.
from it.
It's the definition of getting cute. Please do not do this. Let's move on. It's Allen and it's easy and let's go. Yeah, baby. You know he did. That's how he does it. The man's got losing in his DNA, in his bones. It's all he knows is losing.
But he
was
makes that
missing
team
it.
look good.
He had to come out and get some more losses in at the NFL level. Since it doesn't matter anymore if you lose all your games, they'll just put you in the Hall of Fame anyway, as we've learned by the fact that they're seriously considering putting Eli Manning in there.
Hey, he got a Super Bowl.
2 Super Bowls, and it doesn't matter. Your overall record should prevent this type of japery. Let's move on.
It wasn't Rivers' fault. Much like in this past game, defense. If he had any kind of defense to help him out, that game.
If he had any kind of defense, I'd be in the fantasy championship. Me and Philip Rivers have that in common. Keep going.
All right, Chivalry King, Rico Dowdle, DJ Moore, Parker Washington in the flex standard. Ooh, I don't like any of these. I think it's probably going to be more, but Panthers play Seahawks. Don't like that. I like the idea of Washington.
More.
Yeah. I like the idea of Washington. I think you're on the right track here. I think Washington is an option, but without the other players, it has to go DJ Moore right now. Washington's getting a lot of a boost because of the fact that Surtain was on BTJ, like we said. I know.
But it's standard. So, I eliminate Parker Washington entirely because if he doesn't score, he means nothing to you. Of all of them, the most likely one to score is
Burton has outplayed Devontae Smith target wise when healthy.
DJ Moore. Burton has outplayed.
Yeah, that's not a question. It's just a statement.
Then play Burton, bro.
Yeah,
it's
your team. You can do whatever you want.
Then play Burton, bro. I'm not here for a debate about this. Next.
And Dobbs is dead to me.
I agree.
To be fair, it's really not his fault. He just needs to be on a different team that actually supports him. Because he runs so many routes. He does all the cardio in the world and just doesn't see targets. It's annoying. I hate it for him. All right, sorry. Tamra, May or Purdy? Ooh.
Hang on.
I think it might
Hold
be.
on.
I think it's Purdy, but
I'm going to play May. It's really close, but I'm going to play May. Against the Jets?
I know, but it's just too easy on where they're going to be able to run.
Yeah, but I still think he can get at least
49ers against the Bears.
I think it's a guaranteed twosie. Two trips to the end zone for May.
Well, Purdy just put up 5.
Like,
come on.
But
I can't get away from that, especially in a matchup that Bears might do something.
I understand it's close. but I'm going with May.
I get it. Go dance with the one who brought you.
They're both good choices. You can't make that decision wrong. That's the good news. Whichever you pick, you're going to get at least 20 points, I feel.
All right. Daniel Everhart, PPR, Warren or Schultz? Tight end question again.
Schultz. Warren. Okay, cool. Schultz.
Yeah, at this point, well, you can't play Warren, unfortunately.
Yeah, Warren's done until next year. That conversation's over until next season.
And came back and Bucks are on waivers. If we don't like the Saints,
I
prefer the Saints or the Bucks.
I prefer the Bucks to the Saints slightly. Yours did not inspire me with anything at all whatsoever. I think he's going to get blasted. And
the thing that's keeping me away from it is the over-under for the Titans game is 39.5. While the Buccaneers is 44. I know, but that's what's the lower scoring game. And just, I don't know.
I literally do not care what the line to the game is as it relates to this question. It does not factor into my analysis whatsoever.
Okay. Just, again, throwing it out there. So, again, Kind of depending on scoring, but it's probably going to be the Bucks because I think their Ewers look bad. It was Ewers.
It all looks bad for Miami. They're going to turn the ball over and give up 1 million sacks. Whereas Tennessee, as we've seen, when you give Tennessee super weak opponents, they can move the ball and they can do stuff.
They like to run
against the Kansas City B team, for example. That was all the So
See.
against like the Kansas City backups, like they annihilated them, and so I think they should be able to move the ball against the Saints. Is my point. Whereas Ewers, I wasn't convinced could actually pass the Tyler Palko competency test. We need another week on that. I'm not giving him a pass yet on the Tyler Palko competency test on can he run the offense? Can he snap the ball? Can he not turn it over for no reason? Like, I'm not totally sold on that yet. So I think we got another week in the evaluation chamber on that. So give me Tampa, who is still playing for something.
All right. And Steve coming back. CMC screwed him too.
He screwed a lot of people. He screwed a lot of people, but I'm not mad. I'm not to the point that I'm not even mad about that because I expect it. What I didn't appreciate was getting put on blast like 6 hours before it happened. CMC, I knew going into it that CMC could screw you. The man, at any given moment, the man's a liability to put up 40 points. Like, I knew this. I knew all this going into it, bro. That's why I said I'm not actually mad, because I had made my peace with the idea that I could get screwed. If anybody's going to screw you, it's CMC. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody has the possibility of dropping a 40 and completely screwing you over, yeah, he'd be like one of the first 3 names I come up with. He might even be the first name. It'd be like him and Jamar Chase, and then probably Gibbs would be like my top 3 of like, you're playing against your opponent has this player. Are they going to screw you? I'd be like, yeah, probably. They're going to drop a 40. And like, it's like CMC, Jamar Chase, and Gibbs. and then what? Maybe Achane is 4. Justin Jefferson historically would be 5, something like that. Justin Jefferson historically would probably be higher.
Yeah, now it's been.
Yeah.
JJ's just been tanking that so hard. Trying to think.
Yeah, we could play that game. Who's most likely? Your opponent has X. How scared are you? The other way to ask that question is, how convinced are you going to get screwed on Monday night by and it'd be like, I guarantee you, if we put up a poll, CMC would be like number 1. He'd be like he'd be definitely in the top 3. There's no way he's not in the top 3. He might be 1. What is it? It was Puka is in there, maybe like it's just a list of who's the top 5 fantasy assets every year. Like that's really all that question is. It's nice to have Steve here, by the way.
So I'm going to keep it with him just because he said it. I just didn't think Michael Pittman scoring me more than 5 was a tough ass. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I brought it up on Wednesday show. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he wasn't around last week. I don't know. He wasn't around last Wednesday.
That's fair.
He wasn't here. So I don't know.
He was a sit for a reason. All right. Tamara, one of the hardest things about having so many teams, Steve, CMC helped me in some and hurt me in others.
Yeah, that happens too. Where people ask me like, "Oh, who do you need in this game?" And I'm like, "It's complicated. I need George Kittle to score exactly 22.3 fantasy points." And people are like, "What the hell are you on about?" And I'm like, "It's too complicated to go into. It's too complicated to go into. I can't get into this with you.
It'll win me one and lose me another.
If you won't understand it anyway. In order for me to win it all, I need exactly this range." And people are like, how do you figure this out? And I'm like, again, this is why I don't have these conversations with outside people, because it's not worth it.
They don't understand.
Keep going. Yeah.
All right. Daniel Everhart asked about defenses this week. Steelers, Saints, Bucks, Rams, Browns. Rams.
Let me look.
I think are my 1.
I have the Steelers at 3. That's going to be my choice.
I have Rams. He said top 3. So I'm going Rams, Steelers, and Bucks. Yeah.
Then it'll be Steelers, Rams, Bucks.
So same 3. We're right there.
Yeah, just different order. I prefer the Steelers.
Yeah. Polo made it to the Super Bowl. Half PPR league. Nice. Fannin or Pitts? Played both last week with Pitts and Flex.
Fannin forever.
Talking about people that can potentially screw you. Kyle Pitts. Also makes that list.
Playing Fannin.
So, much rather go with what I know and how well he's been playing. It's very difficult to sit Fannin at this point. So, Tammering, we're picking 2. Flex Shaheed, Washington, Pollard, or Likely.
Does
Pollard, you're
Shaheed
playing.
get points in your league for kick returns? Because it does matter. Clearly,
Well, I don't think it does
I'm
on this
only
question.
half kidding. Like
On this question, I'm
I'm
probably
just
playing
bringing it
Shaheed and
up
Pollard.
because I'm just bringing it up because that Thursday night game, I was actually out doing something with people that don't watch football, and it was on, and I found myself having to explain who Rashid Shaheed was to someone who like doesn't watch football but genuinely like saw it and was like, "What is that?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh, watch this," and I pulled up the one from last week where he ran it 100 yards across, and then I brought up a few of the historical ones, and they're like, "Damn, dog," and I'm like, "Yeah, like that man, he is fast. Like he is like, it's something. It's something to behold." By the way, I think I'm gonna. Are you gonna play Pollard, Jason? Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
playing
at this
Pollard and
point,
Shaheed here.
Pollard, right? Yeah, it's Pollard for sure. Gotta go with that.
It's too much upside
And
this
then
week for Shaheed.
and
Every
then
week.
yeah, and then it's Shaheed. It is. We agree. It's Pollard and Shaheed.
All right, then Williams or Knicks. Oh, I think Williams.
I'm gonna play Caleb. Caleb.
Yep.
Caleb.
I concur.
Caleb.
He's got to do it.
Back foot touchdown. Back foot touchdown. It's either that or he gets you a 0. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what you're rooting for as someone who's seen a lot of Caleb. Knicks is too scary though. Too scary.
Yeah, especially in this game.
Yeah.
All right. Steve. Yeah, I didn't have a choice. All my other flex options were hurt or backup.
Yeah. I could see that.
You didn't play Downs? Downs is there. Just switch him out.
Pittman's been good all year. I get it. Like Pittman's had a better year than most people anticipated
Alec Pierce
coming off the year. Yeah. We'll be on a new team next year, and thank God for that.
Chargers.
I think. I think I'd have to go look up his. Oh no, I'll retire if he ends up on the Chargers. If you think I'm kidding, you see how I work. I will retire rather than continue to do this show with you, because it will
unsufferable.
It will be in the most. I'm not you. I'll send you the bill for my therapist. You can pay for that. You can just pay for my therapy then, if that's how we're doing it. I won't even charge it to my insurance. I will literally not submit the insurance claims. I'll make you pay for it out of pocket without insurance.
You are correct. He's a UFA next year, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he's a UFA this year. Don't pretend like I know all my random Colts contracts. I know all that crap. It's stupid.
Too funny.
So much of my internal hard drive is spent with holding that information.
Yeah, which is why you're the dynasty guy. That's why we have. I mean, you know all that stuff. You have it in your head. I always have to look it up because I have no idea.
So much of it. What's the next question?
That's it. We're caught up.
Good. Perfect. Love it. So Jason, it's that time. Who is your Christmas quarterback start of the week for the holidays?
I don't like it, man, because I really want to play Marcus Mariota, but I don't think he's playing.
Well, you've been so consistently right about that. Why stop going to the well on the thing that keeps screwing you?
Because I can't pick that because we don't know. It's Phillip Rivers versus the Jags. The one thing that Phillip Rivers has been doing well is reading defenses. So,
I am retiring. I
had to do it, man. The opportunity's going to be there. He can read the defense. They're not going to be able to fool him. While he might turn it over, I just don't think he kills you.
Retire.
But okay, the thing is that all of them aren't good. It drops so quickly off of a cliff.
Yeah, that is a good point. There is some of that this week.
For like the past month, I feel like we've been really struggling to find solid options, except for last week. Last week we had a pretty safe play.
And for me, I'll make it somewhat easy. For me, it is Goff. The only reason Goff's down this low is because there's some warts with this, but let's be real about something. I think Minnesota's defense gets a lot of praise that it doesn't necessarily deserve. I've brought this up on this show before. Yeah, it's a decent defense, but it ain't as good as people want to have you believe. Like, their secondary's okay, but it's not that great. The other thing is he played them earlier this year and he didn't have a good game and he still had a 20.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the usual upside, but I think if you have to play Goff, I think the rumors of his death have been greatly exaggerated.
Well,
I would
my
rather
worry for
play
Goff,
Goff.
Goff is the run.
I know, I understand, but I would rather still eat warts and all. I would rather play Goff over like
Phil Rivers.
Knicks.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that too, but that's. I would rather play him over like if you've been playing like Herbert or
Stroud,
Dart or
Jackson.
Stroud or even Darnold, like Jackson, uh, any of that. I think you're okay. I would rather play Caleb, but I have Caleb at like 10. So for me, it's like I do have Goff a little bit higher, closer to that back end starter still. I just don't be expecting a 30, but I think you can still get a nice 20 out of this. So he starts outside. I do think he can finish inside as a back end QB1. I think the rumors of his death have been greatly exaggerated, and I would rather play him over like Knicks and Dart and Herbert and Darnold and Lamar and Stroud and the other like revolving lower fringe starters. I do think Goff still gets, even in a bad matchup, gets preferential treatment over that. Who's your sit, Jason? I bet I know, but
Do you? Yeah,
well, I don't want to guess and ruin it,
okay.
but
I'm going with Matthew Stafford versus the Falcons.
yeah, okay.
Because again, I talked about being able to run. I don't think this game's going to be super competitive. I'm not really. We talked about how bad Cousins has looked. I'm not super worried about it. And again, I talked about how much I believe in the Rams defense. So with all those things, I'm very iffy on playing Stafford because I don't think he's going to have to do a whole lot.
Yeah, because they might just win that game on
Running
their
away
own.
with it.
And for me, it's funny. I have the exact same thing, which is it's actually Dak, because they're playing Washington. And if Dak, I'm just telling you, if Dak doesn't score early and it goes to Javonte early, you are in trouble because Dak might not have to do anything in the entire second half of this game. They're eliminated. They don't care anymore. They're going to want to win this game for pride reasons because it's a division game and they love whooping up on Washington to make their fans happy. So they will do that. Don't worry. That's going to happen. They're
But it
going to
might
play
just
their
be the
starters.
first half.
But it might just be the first half. This game literally might be in garbage time by the third quarter, and they might just have Dak sitting on the sideline. So if you don't get Dak points early, my fear is that you don't get Dak points at all. And next week we will probably revisit this when I tell you that Dak is probably just going to be a sit for me because I don't even know that they play him. Because they need Dak next year healthy. I think the temptation will be to just put him in bubble wrap. Because their whole season, as they've learned, is reliant upon Dak. Because with Dak, they're like a borderline playoff team. Without Dak, they're like a 3-win football team. With that defense, even with it playing better down the second half, they know this. They'd have to be completely senile. Wait, I'm being. Hank, really? Really? How much? That doesn't feel like enough. Anyway, anyway, if you get that joke, then you're cool and we can be friends. But yeah, Dak makes me nervous this week, and will probably make me nervous next week. It's getting a little hard to trust as they have less and less to play for.
Yeah, not an ideal situation.
And then for running back, who do you like? Who's your start for running back? This was brutal because you can't just say Kenny Gainwell anymore.
I know. I was really hoping I'd just keep riding that train, baby, but they've caught on. Dang it.
No. So for the holidays.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised.
Who do you like?
Because I already brought it up.
Who it is. I already
Blake
know who
Corum versus the Falcons.
Oh, it's actually not who I thought it was.
Okay.
Like
I'm taking the points because I talked about them running.
Rodriguez. I thought you were going to talk about Chris Rodriguez.
I thought about it, but I knew you might be going there, so I'm just going.
I'm not ever going to pick Chris Rodriguez. You would have been more than safe.
No, you knew I was going to go there because I still really like him, but again, it's the option for Blake Corum this week. I think this game could very easily be over early, and they're just going to run it.
It could be
scored.
You do have that as a possibility. You definitely have that as a possibility. The The one that I have is actually kind of it's somewhat controversial, although it's become less controversial. It's Tony Pollard. Because Tony Pollard has done nothing for you all season. Like, this is a draft pick that you will likely regret when you think about it. However, you want to know what'll make that taste a little sweeter? A little sweeter is when Tony Pollard puts up his 4th double-digit game of the year in the playoffs, baby. That's what's going to make it taste a little bit sweeter. It was all backloaded. It wasn't a wasted draft pick that nearly got you eliminated. No. No, dude. No, far from it. It was all backloaded, you see. This was part of the master plan because we all knew that Tony Pollard would suck for basically most of the season and then show up for the playoffs to get you a title. Of course that's how it works. It's the 4D chess, you see, that we're playing. No, Tony Pollard in all seriousness probably killed you and given you nothing. Virtually nothing all season except for these last 4 games because I think he's got one more in the tank, baby. So if you've made it this far and you've been running Pollard, you got one more game, man. One more game. I think it's nothing in life is a guarantee, but I think this is about as close to a guarantee as you could get for double digit because they're playing the Saints.
Yeah, more than likely.
Nobody's playing defense in this game.
All right, going to get this in before we do our sits. PPR flex from Daniel Eberhardt, London, Dowdle, Tracy, or pick up Samson, Carter, or Rodriguez.
This is where I play
Tracy.
London.
Oh, you are playing? Okay.
Yeah, this is where we're low enough to where I would play London at this point.
Man,
my second choice would be Tracy, by the way.
I figured.
To you.
I'm so nervous on London. I know I shouldn't be because I know the player. I've seen the stats, but
it's not whatever
week,
it is. It's not London's fault.
I know.
There is a lot of Kirk Cousins sucking happening that makes this scary. It's either London or Tracy. You're not going to the wire for this one. For me, it's London or Tracy. It's London, and if you're terrified of London because of the 5, and you want to play Tracy, okay. But I would play London personally, but I'm not going to the wire for this. Your 2 solutions that you have are better in house. And Dowdle, well, we're gonna get into Dowdle.
Okay, you want to keep going with questions, or you want to get into?
No, let's do. I want to do sits. I didn't even want to break it here. I would break it. I would break it after we did sits to begin with. It's a nice logical break point. But what do I know?
All right, sit of the week. Who do you got?
I just said it. It's well, technically it doesn't qualify because he's actually too low at this point, but it would be Rico Dowdle. So we'll just call it what it is, which is there's no universe where I'm going to recommend playing Rico Dowdle for your fantasy championship after he has thoroughly murdered you. And it's a nice little story. Well, it lasted, but Carolina's trying to win football games, not amass Dowdle points. So just getting that out of the way, because technically he's not ranked high enough to qualify, but I do feel the need to state this because we've got a lot of Dowdle questions both on the Discord and tonight. So a lot of people are clearly thinking about it, and I'm here to tell you no. And then the actual sit of the week, and there were so many good choices for this, Jason.
Well, mine's
there
pretty
easy. There were so many good choices. Michael Carter was an honorable mention. Like, you can go ahead and just be done with that. Like, if you somehow survived it, like, he would technically qualify. Bucky Irving.
That's mine.
Bucky Irving is a great one.
That split is so ugly. I can't trust it. It makes me so nervous.
It's actually literally causing me heartburn for next year about recommending Bucky Irving, because if it is going to be, well, Rachaad White won't be there, so at least there'll be that.
You really hope, but you hope he also starts seeing goal line work, because that's annoying.
Yeah. So it's like it'll be 2, but the Bucky Irving thing has made me nervous, not just about the rest of this year, where I would literally sit him for just about anything else. But it's making me nervous for next year. So there's like so many good, like productive, like sits this week that I could make the argument for you that I didn't want to do one. I just gave you like a grab bag of like sits. There's so many sits. But Bucky Irving is the big one. Like Bucky Irving is the one where I think people will legitimately be considering this. It's Bucky Irving and it's Dowdle and it's Michael Carter are the ones that I'm seeing people still ask questions about and think about, and they're all sits for me. Sit them all. I'm not playing. We're done with Irving for the year. We'll figure it out next year. Michael Carter, if you somehow survived it, no, not a good plan. And
I'm going to throw an honorable mention up there.
and then
Josh Jacobs.
And then Dowdle's got to get out. And then Josh Jacobs is another one that I could see that
Because
with if you survive the 4,
yeah, the injury and then
he
Wilson
is pretty seriously hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we don't know about Love. So and then Brees Hall is another honorable mention. We got that one right, by the way. We called that. That
Nailed it.
felt like a sit game going into it, and it immediately became obvious that we were right about that. So again, like Hall.
last week
is
we
another
were on
example.
fire. We'll see if we can keep
Yep.
rolling, but it's gonna be tough.
Hall is another example. There were so many, like picking starts was legitimately challenging. Picking sits is like shooting fish in a barrel at running back this week. There's a million. All the Vikings are sits for various reasons, their own injury reasons and the quarterback crap. So all the Vikings are sits. There you go. So we're to the point where this week for the championship, I could literally, like, I was doing my rankings and I'm like, once you get past 15,
Doesn't matter. They're all the
it's
same.
so ugly. Once you get past 15, it gets really ugly. That's why people are like, "Oh, well, is Jalen Warren gonna have a big game?" And I'm like, I don't even think it matters, bro, because you're just gonna play him because of lack of other options. Like, is Omarion Hampton gonna be splitting? Doesn't matter, bro. He's probably playing for you because of lack of other options. Like, same thing with Kenneth Walker. Same thing with Kenny Gainwell. Like, it doesn't start becoming a question until we get to Tyrone Tracy. And that's like 22, 24. Like, there's
that's
so
potentially
many,
flex.
and there's so many bad choices at running back this week. So many bad choices. I'll ask you one that I got asked earlier today. Derrick Henry or Warren?
I think that's going to be dependent on a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because if
right now I have it as Henry.
Yeah. More than
likely. But it's probably going to be Henry. But like, that's a tough one.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Derrick Henry or RJ Harvey was another question I got asked today.
Don't like that either.
Yeah, those are tough, man. Those are real questions. You know, like that's tough. That's a toughie, as they say in the biz. All right, let's do some questions here if they come in before we do wide receiver.
All right, Joseph Renarin. Steelers.
I have it as the Steelers.
I concur. It's the Steelers. Tamara Johnson Rivers Brosmer. This is a dynasty superflex. Have Tua, Mahomes, and Jones.
Rivers.
Woof.
Rivers.
Nailed it.
It is Rivers. When you're down that low, it's Rivers.
Obviously, not Rivers for the future. Correct.
Right.
Just this week.
But Rivers is a convenient rental for a week.
All right. Then Purdy or Herbert this week? Purdy.
Purdy.
Brian
Easy.
Paez, Bijan, JT, Jacobs, Stevenson, Diggs, Sutton. Which two sit? Sutton
two.
And Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs is probably going to wind up sitting just based on how hurt he is. And then, it's probably Sutton.
Yep. That one was pretty
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
But I really think that
the fact that we're
going to
play the fact that Ramondre Stevenson's going to start, but I would do it. I would have to.
Well, Henderson's it really also comes down if Henderson's out.
Henderson's probably going to be ruled out, and then more than likely. Yeah, that's a weird final lineup, but it's the lineup I would go with.
Iggy's back. Do I trust Kelsey or pick up Hill, Barner, Parkinson? Barner's probably close.
I would play Barner, actually. Not playing Tonjes.
Yeah, no.
Not doing that. Hill is too fluky. Parkinson's too fluky. I do not trust Kelsey. I would play AJ Barner. Actually, I'm looking at my rankings. I have Kelsey technically rated like 2 spots higher, but I know if it was me in running my own team, I would look at that and be like, nope. We got to make an executive decision to overrule that, and we got to go with Barner because I can't risk the one. Can't risk it. Can't play any Chiefs.
Yeah, the risk there.
No Chiefs, no Vikings. If it's not like, I'm serious about this. Like, no Chiefs at all. Jason's dying. It was nice knowing Jason most of the time. It was nice knowing Jason most of the time. That'll be my eulogy. But yeah, like I can't trust any Chief. I can't really trust any Viking. There's just like some of these teams where it's like I just can't trust any of you for the final week of the year because you're just so broken. I can't trust any Jet. Like there's just certain teams where it's like I can't play you except under very specific circumstances. And this is one where it's like I know it's Travis Kelce, but I can't play him. I just can't. I won't. I will not forgive myself if I put that old man out there and he puts up a 1 again, and I lose because of it. So I gotta wave of the future, AJ Barner, who, by the way, I was explaining this to people too when we were watching that game, and I was pointing at the screen, and I was like, see that guy, like 88, he has the potential to actually be like the Seahawks starting tight end for the next like 5 years, honestly.
Yeah,
at least 4.
Because again, can block. Can catch. He's likely going to be the number 2 target if they. I mean,
he outplayed Elijah Arroyo,
which is incredible.
Which is something considering they drafted Elijah Arroyo in the 3rd round to be their tight end of the future, and AJ Barner outplayed him, and so it's like, okay, like cool, like all right, that's the way it's going to be. It looks like we'll see if he can stay healthy, and we'll see if he can keep developing. But AJ Barner is not. He's not Fanon level of hype train coming from me, but AJ Barner is on that, like, similar to how Brenton Strange was coming into Dynasty drafts this year. He's just still available. And it's like in Dynasty and in Keeper. In Keeper, it's debatable. In Dynasty, I don't feel that he should be available. Someone should roster him at this point in a real way. Next question.
All right. Daniel Overhart, picking 2, Swift, Pollard, Sharp, Allen, Strange, or pick up Carter, Samson, Schultz, or Henry. It's going to be
Swift for sure on that list. I think
it's going to be Swift and Pollard.
I think I'm just going to play I'm just going to play Swift and Pollard, and we're not going to complicate this.
It's close with Strange, but again, I
it
think
is
it
close
goes with
Strange. But I don't trust Strange too much at the moment. Last week was good, but the couple weeks prior to that, trust me, we're not good. Swift and Pollard.
Yep. Dude, go with the easy points here.
Go with what you know.
Joseph, again, is back. Better waiver ad. Hollins or Franklin?
Franklin, barely. They're both not great.
It depends. Are you wanting it for this week? Because if this week, I'm going Hollins.
I'm assuming this week.
Because the idea of
yeah, you know what? If it is a 1-week rental, play Mac Hollins. Because we got to wait for the injury reports on this, but I do know what you mean. If the injury reports come back and everybody gets ruled out, then I'll have Mac Hollins ahead of Franklin this week. Because we saw what Hollins is capable of when everybody's hurt. They'll go to him. They will legitimately use him like booty. So,
yeah, definitely a big jump. So,
despite the fact that Mac Hollins is like 32, I had to look it up. I was like, how old? I feel like he's been in the NFL forever, and I looked him up, and I'm like, oh, he has been. Okay, no, I'm not. So I'm not crazy. So I was like, Mac Hollins. I was like, man, I feel like he's been in the NFL since I was like a lot younger. Not a lad, but like not 40. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, he's been in the league for like 8-9 years. Okay, that makes sense.
All right, last one, and then we'll do wide receivers. With Rice and Henderson most likely out, am I crazy to play Corum in my flex? Also have Woody and Monroe.
I will tell you this: if Woody gets cleared, I'm playing Woody.
Yeah.
On your little list here. If Woody does not get cleared, I probably would just play Corum.
Yeah.
But I don't love having to play Kyram and Corin.
Yeah.
I don't love playing both. That might cause me to go with Monunganai. But I will tell you that we won't know. I won't have a real answer to that until we figure out what's going on with Woody Marks. I have Monunganai at 29, and I have Corum at 30, if that helps you in my running back rankings. And so I probably would play Monungai just because I don't want to play both Rams because you're kind of one of them's going to be good.
Good
I
luck.
just don't know which one. Yeah. So I probably would play Monunganai for that reason. You, sir, are really going to need to go into the backyard and sacrifice some goats to get Woody Marks' leg to be better.
Well, I'm pretty sure
That
they
would
said
really
today
help
he
you.
logged a full practice. Yeah, he had a full practice today.
Yeah, I know. You're really hoping that week off they gave him has made a real difference here. Let's do wide receiver.
All right. Wide receiver start of the week. Shouldn't be any surprise because going back to it. Actually, well, yeah. Josh Downs versus Jags. Going back to the well, baby.
Sure. Sure.
Double digits. Here we come.
Yeah, it is pretty much just double digits, though. There's not a lot of upside past that.
Nope. But that right now is getting you in top 36 pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, we'll do one as an honorable mention, which is kind of funny, which is if everyone on the Patriots gets ruled out, that could be, then it's Mac Hollins, by the way.
That's funny. That's literally who I have as my next option to make sure.
That's the honorable mention that I think we will agree on for sure. That is definitely the honorable mention for 1,000 Rick and Morty a million times, like gotta do that. The problem with this is that I hate oh no, you know who it is? I changed my answer last second. I had an answer and I'm changing it literally last second. We're calling it audible live. It's gonna be Rashid Shaheed. I'm also going back to the well, like I did last week with Rashid Shaheed coming off the multiple. One more time, Rashid, once more into the breach, sir. And it's just because, yeah, he didn't get a whole lot of work last week outside the kick return, but he still got you the kick return. And the week before that, he had a really nice week. And it's like, I only really need 12 points here, and I don't really care how he gets it to me. And I think there's a decent chance that he could get it to you. One more time with Shaheed. One last time into the breach. All right, ready to do the wheel? Or are there more questions?
Well, we have to do a sit.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll just this is another one where it's like there were a million good choices.
Oh, I'm going back to the well.
Okay.
Michael Pittman versus Jaguars.
All right, well there you go. All right, well that was easy.
I'm sticking with it, baby.
That was easy. And for me, because I can't pick one, for me it will be all Washington pass catchers.
That'll do.
All of them. All of them. Don't care who's playing quarterback. It does not matter at this point. And it's the best matchup you could have, which is why this hurts me to say it. But I know we're probably going to have some people that are going to be thinking about it in the background there. Like, should I play Terry McLaurin? Maybe I can get one more week out of Deebo Samuel. No. If you're somehow still alive at this point with that, let's just stop the madness. Stop the madness. No more Washington pass catchers. Their season is over. And thank the Lord for that.
All right, one last question, and then we'll do the wheel. Caleb or T-Law?
I have Lawrence pretty high.
Yeah, I don't think you're able to sit Lawrence 11. At this point.
No, I lied. I have Lawrence at 6. It's Lawrence.
Jags or Bucks?
Probably Bucks. Bucks.
Yeah, I have the Bucks right now.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, with that, we'll go into everybody's favorite part of the show.
Spin the wheel, place your bet. It's time again for tight End Roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. Important concept is in no way affiliated with Mark Sanchez or Ballpark Franks.
For the last time with those graphics, because by the time we get back to next year, we will likely have had to make something else. Can't imagine we're gonna still have that next year given the current legal situation. But one last time in 2025, let's spin the wheel.
One last time.
Last Christmas.
Different songs.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I
Oh,
know.
if I could only spell T.J. Hawkinson.
Yep, T.J. Hickinson.
Sounds about right.
Only in like dynasty leagues for people like Tamara.
Pretty
No
much what you're
redraft
saying.
person. No redraft person I would ever recommend this to.
Yeah,
And even in the dynasty thing, as I addressed Tamara with specifically, even that
was
I
ugly.
hesitated on. That should tell you how little I think of this. It very much falls on my no Vikings rule for week 17.
Makes it ugly for sure.
Only Tamara could get me to pause because of dynasty, and even then I was like, I don't know about this.
Speaking of things that are you don't want to do,
Nope.
learn
Not
the lesson
again.
last week.
Not again. Learned that lesson. Got a fair amount of abuse for it too, so no
Fool
thank
me
you.
once.
We will not be doing that again.
Yeah,
I got a lot of things right last week. A lot more things right last week than wrong. This was one of the wrong ones.
Yeah, this one hurt.
Was not very happy.
Could not
Especially
really
because
rebound for a lot of people.
We did it on Wednesday night, and I literally got to watch it fail in front of people. That was fun.
Yeah,
Next,
not an ideal. But I did bring up Terrence Ferguson, and guess what? He put up 12.
yeah, and
That's fun.
and help no one.
Nobody.
Super useful.
Yeah. Speaking of things that aren't super useful.
See you next year, Tyler. Can't wait. Big things in store. Big things in 26. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, that was rough.
I can't wait for you to retire, and I don't have to hear from you anymore. Keep it moving.
Yeah, that definitely
0%. I will not do that again. No.
Maybe next year.
No. Maybe.
Or maybe
Depends
not
on
next
what
year.
the ADP
Well,
is.
I guess it would technically would be next year. His next game.
For my broadcast league, he can get drafted. For my announcer league, need a replacement for Phil Simms.
There we go. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
Number one, baby.
The only one.
Number one streaming tight end option for this week.
Mr. AJ
There it
Barner.
is.
Gotta go with it.
Name to keep in mind for next year, and it'll be easy to remember when he wins you a fantasy title this week. It'll be very easy to remember, Mr. AJ Barner.
Yeah. A lot of opportunities
Cool guy
continues to show
cool
up.
Name. Cool guy with a cool name.
All right. On to the next. Talk about flipping a coin. Thankfully, we were able to kind of touch on. Okay, it's staying in it.
We covered this extensively. The only reason I would ever play Taysom Hill is if I was projected to lose by more than 20 points and I needed a miracle.
Yeah.
And I had no good tight end. That would be the exact specific, very narrow circumstances where that would be acceptable. Outside of that, no.
Yeah. Too ugly. Can't trust it. And then, no surprise.
Warren's off the table. Kelsey's off the table. Parkinson's off the table. Hill's off the table. Guess what? Waller's off the table too. This is not the week to need a streaming tight end, folks. This was the week of all bad choices, where it's AJ Barner and nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. So we'll close that.
This was brutal.
We'll close out a tight end roulette, and then we'll answer your questions.
This was the shortest wheel segment we've ever done.
Well, it's a horrible week for it. Like, it's crazy.
It really is. This is the worst week for streaming tight end in a long time. It's AJ Barner and nothing.
So, all right. Well, with that, hope you all enjoyed tight end roulette.
Spin the wheel, place a bet. It's time again for tight end roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. Important concept is in no way affiliated with Mark Sanchez or Ballpark Franks.
Well, not sure what we did to make Daniel cry, but sorry, Daniel.
It's because it's ending.
That's fair.
That's all it is.
Well, speaking of, this is the last show of the season, yeah?
Yep.
This is it.
This is it.
Thank you all for coming.
This is the last show of the season. Thank you all for coming. It's been a pleasure as always to do this with you. You will see an announcement get posted tomorrow in the Discord about some changes that are going to be being made for next year. We'll just let that announcement happen. Nothing crazy. We'll be back next year, albeit in a slightly different format. We're still going to be important nonsense. We'll still be around, but as you know, we retool every offseason, so you'll see an announcement get made that I won't step on here, but just pay attention. You know, for those that are interested, you'll see that, and yeah. But it's been an absolute pleasure. We always have fun doing this, so thank you for spending your fantasy football season and also your money with us. Those of you that do to sign up for our Discord and for our paywall stuff. And so yeah, that's largely what the announcement's going to be for next year. We're going to be changing some of the formatting for how some of this stuff works, and some people are going to be exiting the business, so we're going to say goodbye to a few people. That Jason and I will still be here, Steve will still be here, but there's a few people that are going to be moving on to greener pastures, and want to thank them for all their contributions over the years. We've talked to them privately, but you know, it's always sad when we have to go through things like this, but it's necessary for the business and for those people, and for it's not a lot of fun. But yeah, so so next year we'll be back with some tweaks. But I want to thank everybody personally for spending the season with us, and it's always fun doing this with you. But yeah, be prepared for more paywall content next year and possibly more dynasty content next year, since we know that there's kind of more of a demand for it than we were anticipating. So that'll be interesting. Jason, do you have any parting words for as we round out 2025 here?
No, I mean, again, I feel like we've done a pretty good job. I'm really happy with how the season has turned out for us. As just, we continue to see more and more people that are coming back, and we really appreciate y'all. So that's always the big thing for me. And with it being that season, I'm super happy that you guys keep coming back for some reason, and that we're providing content that you seem to enjoy. So,
for some reason.
I mean, you know, I know it's for the backgrounds, but
it's for tight end roulette.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're not retiring tight end roulette. We just have to change the graphics for it.
Okay, we'll get through these real quick too. Parkinson screwed me last week. Yeah. Played him over Walker. Oh, but yeah, Parkinson was a start from everybody because what we had seen trending, how everything was working out. Anybody who'd been watching and taking notice saw it as a potential, but
yeah,
I would have been impressed if I've heard anybody else talk about Darren Ferguson last week, because did bring it up.
Yeah, but
I know
that helped no one.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
if Kittle is out, who's the best start? Tonjes, Barner, or Hill? Barner. Best start of the week: Tyler Warren, Tonjes, Barner, Hill, Schultz. Still Barner.
No, that's Schultz. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Just kidding. It is Schultz.
I love Barner, but let's not go crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that you're already starting Nico. Nico might actually be an issue for you, but we'll see.
Makes no difference.
Still doing research on that one, but still going to be in the Discord. We'll be able to help you there, so make sure you're hitting that up. Which D is best this week between Lions and Bucks, and Pats and Seattle?
Lions.
Yes, Lions. And then Pats or Seattle?
I have the Pats slightly higher. That's a good question.
Yeah, I have the Pats as well.
Slightly. That's a good question. I get it, because Seattle's was up until last week like the #1 defense in fantasy. So,
but you get the Jets.
But the Jets. But it's the Jets. You can't turn down. You can't turn down free money. Free money is what that is. Like it's absolutely what you got to do.
All right, Joseph, Fanon or Goddard? I think it's Fanon.
Oh, that's Fanon. Fanon.
It's still close, but
it is. But it's Fanon. It's hard to beat Fanon right now.
Oh, geez. Okay, we're doing Ortiz's lineup. Jason, set my lineup. We're doing quarterback first. Burrow, Dinks, or Trevor? Ooh,
Burrow.
Is it Burrow?
I've got Burrow.
Yeah,
it's Burrow.
Trevor's
barely,
high. That's why I was asking. I had to double check.
It's barely Burrow, and then running back, it's 2.
Yeah,
that's going to be Hampton and Pollard for me.
I agree, Hampton and Pollard, and then
wide receiver we need 3. It's going to be Puka, Nico, and Tet, just how you have it.
Yep, and then 2 flexes.
The flexes are going to be
Robinson and Rodriguez.
Yeah, Wandale, and then even I would probably play I'm gonna.
It's close between him and Dowdle, right?
I hate your last flex.
Yeah.
Your last flex is either Shakir, Pollard. No, sorry. It's either Shakir, Dowdle, or Rodriguez. And I think at that point, I'm willing to play Rico. Just based on the idea that I will that low dance with who brung me. And he brung me.
All right. Then we're doing it again.
But I could understand Rodriguez if you really were afraid. It's only about, I think you're literally arguing about 5 points.
Yeah.
At the floor there, but okay.
Burrow or Brissett?
Burrow.
Then 2 running backs, Barkley, Javonte.
Barkley for sure. And
Yep.
then are you
Kyron.
going to play Kyron or Javonte? That's a tough one.
I have Kyron slightly higher. Mostly because I
also have Kyron slightly higher, so it's Kyron slightly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Burrow, Barkley, and Kyron, and then it's going to be Chase and Nico and Sutton.
Oh,
No, I'm going to play Sutton. They're both bad. Like you don't get good choices there. I could see you playing London though, if you want to flip a coin on that, on who's going to screw you. Because they're both very likely to screw you, and even they are both less likely to screw you than Scary Terry. And then my flexes are gonna be Hampton
and Javonte.
Yeah, and Javonte.
Okay, I'm like, we talked about Javonte. You have to bring it back up.
And Javonte. Yeah, it's really a question of the only one on that one is you gotta make a decision for yourself between London and Sutton. That's only you can make that choice. You're playing with fire in both directions. I'm not gonna. You pick. But outside of that, that's your lineup.
All right, then Chris, Nico, or Evans in half PPR.
Nico.
I'm actually going to go Evans.
All right, you do that.
I know. Pick 3, half PPR. HA and Saquon, Genty, Bijan, Henry. Golly, this team is stacked. I didn't see why you're here.
Saquon, it's Achon, Saquon, and Bijan.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I have to double check my rankings. You said it out of order.
That one's nuts. That one's nuts. That's a crazy.
Really good team.
A hell of a running back room.
We're happy to help, Angela.
Yep. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate it. We're going to go into winter hibernation.
Wow, Pollard must be happening if Neil's on board.
I don't like Tony Pollard, but it's a combination of things. It's a combination of lack of other options, the matchup, them using him more. It's like the perfect storm of crap that is allowing this recommendation to happen.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that's just rolling around there.
There's a lot of it that goes into that.
All right, Derek Aston 4 flex here. Tet, Dowdle, Carter, Godwin, Woody. 1
Tet.
PPR.
Tet.
I concur. It is Tet. And then continue rolling with Tyler Warren or say what the heck and go, no.
No, not that low. Tyler Warren.
AJ Barner.
Sure.
Sorry.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that even here at this point.
Last nonsense of the year. You're right, Daniel.
That's it. Last one.
Looking forward to next season with y'all. Thanks for all you do.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, Tamara. Love having you.
Oh,
I need all the Dynasty people.
That's what she's bringing up. Looking forward to touching base with you Dynasty in the spring, and we'll be here for it.
We'll be around. Yeah, we'll be around. Jason won't be. He'll be in his comfy bed. But Steve and I will be
full hibernation still until at least the draft. I'll wake up for a little bit, and then I'll go be back into hibernation. All right. So
if there's nothing else,
well,
we're gonna get out of here.
Gotta bring it up. I don't know if you've seen any. Any newer Christmas movies.
Not Christmas movies specifically, no.
Like I went and saw The Housemaid, which I read the book first, and so that's not really a Christmas movie, but absolutely loved it. But for Christmas, Dear Santa, absolutely stupid.
Okay.
with Jack Black. I'm not even sure when it came out, but Paramount did a Black Friday thing, and so I have it for 2 months for $5, and I'm like, it made me giggle.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I was not expecting that. No, I haven't really seen any like Christmas specific movies recently. So can't help you too much on that one this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, all the other ones are iffy. Like, I didn't really love. I watched a couple, and I'm just nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Sorry, Daniel. We couldn't really help you there. Going back to the Old Faithful, though, Four Christmases, I must watch. I love watching that every year.
Oh, well, if we're doing movies, Christmas movies we just like, then Jingle All the Way. I got to get me a Turbo Man doll.
You would.
I love that movie. I remember watching that movie when I was little, and I've seen it way too many times. That movie, parts of it, not all of it, but parts of that movie actually hold up.
Yeah, definitely some issues, but it's also, at that time period, it fit in very well for Schwarzenegger.
Some of it doesn't. Yeah, some of it doesn't hold up all that great, but parts of it do.
All right. Well, you had, but I waited for you. I got it done. We talked about it. You're welcome. So, again, really appreciate you all. We are so thankful for you. Hope you have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Not to have
Hope you win.
Hope, yeah, big part of it.
Yeah.
Hope you win. Discord's always gonna be open. So
until you see the announcement about us shutting down the Discord temporarily tomorrow, but you'll see that announcement tomorrow. It's not going away permanently, but that is the announcement you'll see tomorrow. Is that the Discord is going to shut down temporarily, briefly, while we do some maintenance in the background, and then we will dump everyone back in. So if your Discord access does go down briefly at some point in the next week, that is not, you don't need to do it. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Discord's not broken, but we need to do some maintenance in there.
Well, it might be broken, but it might.
It might be, but it's deliberately broken. We are trying to fix some stuff in there. We have to do some back-end maintenance, and this is the best way to do it, and this is the best time to do it, because we have to do it before next football season, and we can't really do it during the fantasy football season while people are in there, and so we have to wait for redraft to be over. This is all very boring, and no one cares. But just so you know, you'll see an announcement tomorrow about some changes with the business, and part of that announcement is we have to do some maintenance to our systems and tools, and you will lose Discord access briefly, but it won't be until after your matchup is over, so you can get your questions in up until the last minute. We have thought about this, but it is unavoidable that we have to do some maintenance in here. So just don't want anybody to be freaked out by it.
Yeah. So in any case, since, it is what it is, we, again, appreciate y'all. Have a good week. Have a good Christmas or end of Hanukkah. I think that just wrapped up. Pretty sure.
Yesterday, I want to say.
Yeah. So, otherwise, happy holidays. And again, we really appreciate y'all. So I would say until next week, but until next year.
Yes. One last time in 2025.
Remember, as always, to keep up the nonsense. See you guys.
Be strong. Be strong.